Good morning, students. Today we are here for the class 8 English 2 chapter 3 if poem elaboration and discussion. Okay, so in the previous video you have seen that I have discussed about the poet, that is Rudyard Kipling, and about the poem also. Now we are going to start with the poem. So take out your books and follow the poem over here. Now I am going to read the poem, and a small copy of the poem would be coming in front of you also. Okay, from the first paragraph. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. The first 4 lines I have read over here. That is, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. Okay, so first 2 lines means that if you can keep your head means if you can keep your head calm, cool and satisfied when all of them, all the other people are losing their heads upon you. Losing their heads means they are getting angry upon you, they are blaming you of something, and all of them are just yelling at you anyhow. But still at that time also, if you can keep your head calm and cool and answer one by one everybody, then you are a perfect person. I have told you before also that Rudyard Kipling has written this poem about a perfect person only. So moving on. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowances for their doubting too. Rudyard Kipling is saying over here that if you can trust yourself, means you should trust yourself that you can do anything. It is very good. But you should trust yourself at that time when everybody else or all the men around you are doubting you. When they are doubting you, at that time if you can trust yourself, you can do great deeds. But listen in mind or keep in mind that you should give allowances for other people to doubt you also. You cannot say that don't doubt at me, I can do anything, so don't doubt at me, and don't point out any question at me. No, this cannot happen. You have to give them a certain chance to doubt upon you. That is good. But at that doubting point, you should prove yourself or believe in yourself and do the work. Okay, these are the characteristics that Rudyard Kipling is talking about a perfect person over here. Moving on, the next 4 lines of the first paragraph. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Okay, so the next 4 lines are like this. What does it mean? If you can wait and not be tired of waiting. Rudyard Kipling says over here, if you have to wait for something, maybe a bus, maybe a train, maybe a car, maybe for your friend, you are waiting somewhere for some time. If you can wait and not be tired of waiting, and if you don't get tired of waiting, it doesn't happen normally. When you wait for something, you get tired. Oh, when it will come, when the thing will happen, you just get tiring upon and cursing yourself or the situation at that time. Okay, that is Rudyard Kipling over here saying that if you are waiting for something, you should not get tired of waiting. You should wait patiently. Yes, I am waiting and I will wait for that thing to happen. Or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or if somebody has told you lies, you know that somebody is speaking to me and he or she is saying a lie, or he or she is not saying a truth. You know that. But at that time, you should not deal in lies. When somebody is saying to you some lie, you should not say the other people some lies, any lies. Okay, you should not deal in lies. That is said over here. Or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating. If somebody is hating you, if somebody hates you for something, I don't know for what thing, it can be anything. Somebody is hating you for anything, and they are not liking you, don't deal in that hatred only. Don't hate that person or any other person. You should not hate anybody. That is the quality you should have in yourself. That somebody can hate you, it is okay, but you should not hate anybody. That is a perfect person. Okay, and yet don't look too good not to talk too wise. Rudyard Kipling says over here, You should not look too good while behaving in the society. While you are behaving or talking or doing some work in the society, you should not look very good. Are he is very good person. Nobody should talk about you like this, that he is a very good person. No. But somebody should not say that he is a very bad person also. Here is the point where Rudyard Kipling keeps you. Nobody should say that he is a very good person, or nobody should say that he is a very bad person. Okay? Not talk too wise. And when you are talking, you should not talk so wisely and so purely that it should be sounding like saintly words. Saintly words means sadhu santo ka shabd. When you are speaking, it should not sound like that some saint is speaking. No, sir, you should not be too wise for that. When you are speaking, you should speak on your own, with your own words. Okay, this was your first paragraph. We are moving on to the next paragraph. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors to be just the same. Big things, I have told you, big qualities and features which Rudyard Kipling has expressed over here for everybody is over here. The first two lines are, if you can dream and not make dreams your master. If you can dream, you should dream. Dreaming is a good thing. Dreaming for good or bad or big things or smaller things is good. But don't make your dreams your master. Don't chase your dreams over here. Rudyard Kipling wants to say that don't become a slave of your dream. That you have dreamt of becoming maybe engineer. Now you are pouring every inch and bit and time of yours into becoming an engineer. But you have a very good quality of becoming a doctor. But you are not interested in that. Why? Because you have dreamt about becoming an engineer, you are straight away going into that direction without thinking what will be the consequences will be in the future. But you have a good quality in you to become a doctor, but you are not interested in that, and you have become a slave of your dream and you are just chasing your dream. You should not do that. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can think, that is imagination. If you can imagine or think anything, it is very good. But don't make your thoughts your aim of your life. Maybe your thoughts will be, I should be topper in my class. You thought about it, that somebody is getting top marks or highest marks in the class, I should also get. Okay, very good. You should also get. But don't make that your aim. Aim means you have to do it, otherwise you are not going forward anywhere. Or you are not going to do anything else. You have made that thought into an aim. That is, if you don't get the highest marks in your class, you will say, no, again I will study in that class only. And again I will try to bring that highest marks. No, you should not do that. Otherwise you will be remaining in that class only for several years. Okay? Oh yeah. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors to be just the same. If you are meeting some person or people with different moods and varieties, like triumph and disaster. What is triumph? Triumph is victory, actually, to win something. If you have won something, you are very happy at that time. Yes or no? And disaster, if you did something wrong, very crucial mistake you have made, a small mistake, and you lost a big thing over there. When you meet these things, these two feelings of your life, you should treat them, two imposters over here. Imposter word is over here, someone who pretends. Okay, imposter means to pretend. You should pretend just the same to the disaster and to the victory also. When you get a victory, you should be that much happy only, how much you should be. And when you meet any disaster of your life, you should be that time also that much happy only. Or the vice versa. If you are meeting any disaster in your life and you are a little bit sad, okay, very good. But when you get a victory, you should be sad at that time also. That much only. That is the meaning over here. That is, when you meet the triumph and disaster, you should treat them just the same. Now, moving on to the next 4 lines. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, Or watch the things you gave life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, if you can bear the truth you have spoken, that sometimes you have spoken any truth to anybody and somebody else came to you and said that you have spoken this truth to that person or what? If you can bear to listen that is very good. You should listen to that. Twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. But what happened to that truth is that truth which you have spoken to somebody else, some knaves or cunning persons, not very good persons, what they have done, they have twisted your truth into a false statement maybe and brought it again to you. Okay, to trap you to trap you in your own words or to make fool of you. Okay, they have done this for these reasons. But if you can hear those truths and you can reply back that what you have said and what you have not said, that is a good quality of a human being. Or watch the things you gave life to broken and stoop and build them up with the worn out tools. And if you can see that what life has given you, the broken life that you have got in the world, if you can see those things live and with your open eyes and stoop and build, and you try your level best or try your best to build them up with the worn out tools, and if you can build that life, that broken life, that can be anything, that poverty maybe or disaster, maybe somebody would be not having a one leg or something, if you can build your life on that reasons behind, then also with worn out tools over here is your means disgusted strength, or not disgusted, I can say, means very little bit of strength what you have got in yourself, or willpower, whatever willpower you have got from. Okay, so we are going to move on to the next paragraph, that is the third paragraph. So let's read over here. If you can make one heap of all your evenings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose and start again at your beginnings and never breathe a word about your loss. Over here, Rudyard Kipling is saying that if you have won any amount of money or any amount of deeds or things by betting on some game or any kind of sports events, if you have earned a lot of thing, make one heap of it. One heap means if you have made a small mountain of those earnings or winnings. Okay, so if you have made that thing, and on the next game, when you are going for the next game or the next bet, actually, you put on all your earnings for that next bet and you lose also. You are not playing only with that game with all your money at once intact in that, but you lose that money also in that game. You have not performed well and somehow you lose your money. As you have lost your money in that game, you start from the beginning. You start from the beginning means when you had nothing in your hands, you had zero money in your hands, after losing all your heap of money in one game, in just one go, you start from the beginning, that is start from your zero amount. Okay, and never breathe a word about your loss. And then you should not breathe a word about your loss. Means you should not say any word to anybody that you had so much money and you lost it at just once go in one bet. Okay, you should not say this. If you cannot do this, or if you can do this, then only you can become a perfect person. Moving on to the next lines. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after they are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will which says to them, hold on. Okay, now when you get exhausted by running for a long period of time, what happens? Your body, muscles, nerves, sinews, heart, everything tells you it is finished, nothing is left in you, no energy is left, now you cannot do anything more. But what he is saying, if you can force your heart, your nerve and your sinew is the ligaments which connects from bone to the muscles or bone to bones. Okay, those are the sinews over here. Nerves are the nerves in which blood carries on throughout the body, and heart is heart. When you get totally exhausted, at that time, if you can force your heart, nerve and sinew to move a little forward more, to work a little more, what happens? To serve your turn long after they are gone. And if you ask them to serve you means to work for you for a longer period of certain long period of time. When they are all gone, when they are all gone means when they are almost finished and exhausted, they don't have any energy to do any work for you, then also if you can say to your body that no, you should be doing a little bit more, and so hold on when there is nothing in you. And at that time also, if you hold on within yourself and say that okay, we can do a little bit more, and continue doing something more after you got exhausted also, except the will which says to them hold on. You have nothing left in you, but still you are saying only because of your will, that is your willpower, that you are saying to your body that yes, we can do a little bit more, we should go forward a little bit more. Okay. Now moving on to the next paragraph, that's paragraph number 4. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much. Okay. Here Rudyard Kipling is saying that if you are talking to any crowd, any public meeting, you are there and you are giving a speech or you are talking to them, when you are talking to a bigger crowd, a bigger number of people, you should not lose your virtue, you should not lose your dignity and your self-confidence, self-respect over there, and you should be speaking normally to those people as you talk to your friends and other people. Okay. Or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, or you have become such a great person that you are able to walk with the kings of certain countries or whatever. You are walking with them, alongside with them. But while you are walking with the king, don't feel that you are a king. You should not forget your common touch, where you belong from, where you have came from. Means you are coming from a common background, a normal background of a human being. You should not forget that thing when you are walking with a king. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, a time should come in your life that when neither of your friends or foes can hurt you by any means, by any feelings. Okay. By feelings of neglectness or betrayal or fearfulness, anything, they cannot hurt you anyway. If this time comes, or if this happens to you, that your loving friend cannot hurt you, if he is doing anything, you are not getting hurt, or your foes means over here enemies, if your enemies are doing anything to you and you are not getting hurt within inside from your heart, that you are not getting hurt, okay, whatever they are doing for their good. If you can think this thing, then only you can go forward in your life. If all men count with you but none too much, all the men should count on you. Count on you means should believe in you that yes, you can do something better. All the men should do this, but they should not count so much, none too much. That means over here that they should not believe in you so much that they are not doing their part and just believing in you that you are the only one who can do something good, and they are just lying down on their beds, that whatever will be done by you only and you will do whatever good or bad, and they are not going to do anything. It should not happen. They should believe in you, but not so much that they are not doing their own part. Okay. If you can fill the unforgiving minutes with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you will be a man, my son. If you can fill those unforgiving minutes, means those time of your life when you were unforgiven by anybody, you did a mistake, you asked for forgiveness, asked for sorry, but they did not give you any sorry or forgiveness. That was a very small period of your time, of your life. That would be maybe 60 seconds, that is 1 minute. With 60 seconds worth of a distance run, now you would be thinking that those 60 seconds or those times of my life were a long run, sir. You ran a lot back again to seek for a forgiveness, but you got nothing from there. Okay. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it. Yes, sir. The earth is belonging to you only. The earth is yours. Not only yours, it is of every living creature. And whatever is there in the earth, it belongs to them only and you only. And which is more? And which is more, sir? The earth or the people? Which is more in the life perspective? Which is a greater thing? Life of a earth is great thing, or life of a human being or a living creature is a great thing? Which is more? You will be a man, my son. When you will understand this question, which is bigger in perspective, the earth or the human beings, then at that time you will become a man, my son. There is a small hint of respect of Rudyard Kipling given to the readers. Okay. So this was the whole poem over here, described and elaborated over here, paragraph wise. And you should be getting the weekly test papers recently, very soon, and you would be solving the question paper on your own and the exercise also on your own. That is all for now.